Alright, hello, my name is Lorenzo Martinez. What?
Keep going.
Well, I was just going to say I'm now your housemate. Just moved in here a couple weeks ago.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in sales. I sell gym memberships and trainings. I'm the personal training director at LA Fitness, so I run the training department.
Do you have any regrets?
Regrets like what, in terms of?
Anything.
I think that the one biggest regret I have is not going straight to college after high school. I took 3 years off, and I always felt like if I had just gone straight from high school, I would have been able to finish a lot faster and figure out what I wanted to do sooner and have my degree sooner.
So why didn't you?
Well, I didn't think I needed college, to be honest with you. I think out of high school, I started doing sales, and I was really good at sales. So I figured I could, make a living wage without a degree. So I tried to do that, and then I realized like having a degree is nice. Like even if I don't use it, so that's what happened. What?
Do you don't have anything more to say on that? Just having a degree is nice?
Yeah, having a degree is nice. Like I know in reality my degree right now, I'm not going to be able to use it for work, but I feel like it has like a social significance to it, having a degree. And also I feel like a lot of applications when you apply somewhere, just like checking that box that says you have a college degree is like, they put you in two piles, right? It's like, I'll look at these guys and I won't, So I feel like having that really gave me an edge, even if the degree itself isn't applicable to what I want to do.
When did you start working?
I think my first job, I was 15 and a half. I did, I think I sold bikes. I sold bicycles at a bike shop. That was my first job.
What was your next job?
I was a shift lead at Great America, which is an amusement park. And I did henna tattoos. But, I was more like the supervisor, so I had a team of henna tattoo artists, and I would just go around and make sure they're taking their breaks, making sure their cash registers are up to date, restocking their supplies, stuff like that. That was when I think I was 16 or 17 when I did that. It was very short. I did that for like one summer. Yeah.
Next job?
After that, I went to Lowe's. Lowe's, I worked for a while. I was there for almost 2 years. I was a customer service manager. So I was the head of the cashiers, customer service department. I made scheduling. I worked with all the other departments in the store to, keep things flowing smoothly. I dealt with complaints, internet orders, stuff like that. That's kind of where when I realized I like to be in the supervisor managerial position. So that's kind of where I've been since then. It taught me a lot.
What was your next job?
I sold cars. I sold Toyotas. I was an internet sales manager, so it was mostly online. I would sit, make phone calls, emails, schedule test drives, and then when they would come in, obviously negotiate pricing, close the deal, send them right into finance. So I liked that position because it taught me independence. When you buy a car at a dealership, they're always that back and forth with, let me see what my manager can do, and let me go get my manager. But when I was internet sales manager, there was no middleman. I had all full power to change pricing, interest rates, run credit reports, all of that good stuff. So there was no middleman, and it kind of taught me how to negotiate for myself instead of having to rely on a manager to do it for you.
And that pays well?
Oh yeah, but the hours were crazy. I mean, I think I would go in at like 8:30, 9 in the morning, and sometimes I'd be leaving at 10 p.m. I don't think it's worth the money or the energy, the headaches. Yeah.
And where did you go from there?
Well, a funny story is I actually sold a car to a customer who offered me a job at his State Farm office selling insurance. He said, he's like, out of all the cars I've bought, because he had a lot of money, he's like, you made the process easy, you were friendly, you negotiated well with me, and I'm happy with my purchase, so have you thought about switching to something with more stable hours? Because I know you guys work a lot here. And, that I ended up working for him at State Farm. And, I had to get licensed for California for property, casualty, and life insurance. And I did that for a while. It didn't work with my school schedule because that's when I decided to go back to school. So I couldn't do that, but I definitely learned a lot, and I was a team lead there for sales, which was really fun. I liked doing that.
So how did your school and your career interlock, mix?
Oh, they don't really. I mean, my major is sociology. I mean, now I'm working on my master's for business administration, my MBA, but back then it was like sociology. So I really, there were two separate worlds, right? Like, most sociology is I don't want to say anti-capitalism, but it is in a way. So it's I'm in sales, I'm just trying to make money, and my major has nothing to do with that, right? So it was a little hard. I felt like there was a disconnect the whole time, but like I said, I really just wanted a degree. It doesn't matter what it was. So the scheduling was terrible though, because I worked, obviously State Farm is a business, it's an office, so I worked 9 to 5, but you can't pick and choose, especially towards the end of undergrad. The classes come as they come, so it was very hard to mix the schedules together. That's why I had to leave the office.
And it was important to you to make time for your degree?
Yeah, I don't think any amount of money would have, once I decide to do something, that's how I am. I'm gonna follow it through. So I think no amount of money, even at Toyota selling cars, I was making very good money, and I don't think any kind of money would deter me or kind of persuade me to stop what I'm doing once I've already decided to do it.
So what other things have you done like that?
Like what?
Where you wanted to do it and you left no matter the consequences, you went ahead and did it.
Well, I mean, one of the proudest things for me is my fitness, personally. I graduated high school, I was 18 and I weighed 109 pounds. So I was a string bean, right? I was small, and I set it in my head. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put on some muscle, I'm gonna gain some weight, and I stuck through it. I mean, I think at first it's really hard. You go into the gym, you don't know what you're doing. Every guy there is bigger than you, right? You stand out for sure, not in a good way, right? So, but like I said, stuck through it. I didn't give up on it. It took me about 2 years to get to the weight that I'm at now, and now I've just been maintaining it, constantly learning too. I became a certified trainer because I really enjoyed it. I think it had a huge impact on my life in terms of my self-confidence and my hobbies. It influenced everything. It influenced my diet, how I eat, how I sleep, the kind of stuff I like to do. It's all influenced by my fitness. So it was a big part of my life, which is why now I work in the fitness industry.
So when did you start working out? At 18?
Yeah, the summer right after senior year.
And you're 24 now?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much do you weigh?
168 yesterday. Yeah.
From 109 to 168.
Yeah.
Huh? How does that
almost 60 pounds, huh?
How does that make you feel?
Well, I feel like it would have happened eventually, regardless, because your metabolism slows down. You slowly put on some weight as you adjust. You stop growing. Sadly, I'm stuck at 5'7". But I think it would have happened regardless. But I'm glad that most of it is healthy muscle, and at least I can go into the gym and I have the knowledge on how to work out. So it makes me feel good knowing that these 60 pounds are healthy body weight.
So what makes you enjoy working out?
Everything about working out is awesome. Stress relief, I look good. When you do things with proper form, you feel good, right? And part of educating yourself comes with everything else that comes with fitness, like eating. I know what nutrients I need. I know what supplements are BS, what supplements I should be taking. I know the quantities, and I know how to not injure myself. I could probably be doing this until I'm 80, and I'm not going to have an injury because I know how to do this properly, right? It's sustainable. So that's what I really enjoy about it. I see myself being an active 80-year-old instead of being some of my clients who are 50, 55, and they can't bend over anymore because they've never worked out. They don't have the muscles to do it. Yeah.
Fuck, I had a question, but I forgot. Where do you see fitness taking you?
I want to own a chain of gyms. That's my, like I said, I'm in sales. I'm a salesperson, but I love fitness. I love being able to teach, being able to share my experiences with others. Eventually, I want to own a gym. I don't want to own one gym. I want to own 5, 10 gyms, and I want it to be a brand, something that is known. People know this, and they know this brand, and they go, they're serious. They're knowledgeable. They're good. There's a lot of gyms that are very cheap and affordable and small, like Fitness 19 or something, but no one takes those serious, Like, you go there if you want a treadmill. But you think of gyms like Orange Theory, right? They have a brand. They have this idea that you're going to pay for these classes, and you're going to lose some weight. You're going to lose some fat. You're going to gain some muscle, and it works. So that's the goal for my gym, is I want to establish a brand where people associate my gym with professional, knowledgeable results. And that's what I want to do.
And is that where your degree comes in?
Yeah, I think having an MBA, even if having an MBA is not necessary for owning a business, which it isn't, most entrepreneurs don't have an MBA. But I think that getting the ground level, like the base work done myself versus having to pay someone to help me with the advertising, the investing, figuring out a business plan, all that, I think doing that myself is going to make me more attached and more, I feel more satisfied with running my own business.
Do you have any fears?
Yes. Yeah, I think my biggest fear is being unhappy when I'm old. I think that's my biggest fear. I don't want to be 65. And you ever watch Back to the Future? So there's this scene, I'm blanking. It's been a while since I watched it, but there's this scene where he travels to the future and he's just completely unhappy. Like, he hates his job. He has no money. He hates his life. Like, his wife is unhappy with him. Like, his kid doesn't like him. Like, that's my biggest fear, is that I'm 60 or I'm 50 or I'm 45 and I wake up and I'm just unhappy with where I'm at. That's my biggest fear.
And are you happy now?
Yeah, I think I'm at the point where I've kind of decided what direction I want my life to head in, and I'm at a good spot at my age to make it happen. I didn't wait too long, and I think that I have enough experience where I can see it all shaping and coming together. So I'm happy where I'm at right now.
So what you said earlier about not wanting to be old and unhappy, is that something you see in your clients?
Yeah, I think that they're not, the clients in the Bay Area are different. I think that the clients that I've had in the Bay Area, they're happy. They worked hard for where they're at. They did it the normal traditional way, right? They went to college, they got their degree, they got their master's, they worked entry level, and now they're making 150, 200,000 a year, and they like what they do, right? So they're happy with their career, they're happy with their income, and obviously I'm there to help them be happy with their fitness and their health. So I think that they're satisfied, right? But I have seen clients, especially ones that aren't happy with how they look, and I know how that affects them deeply. Like they feel almost like ashamed of how they look, and it's nice that as a trainer and as a coach, I'm able to let them know that you're not stuck. This is not something that you have no control over. You can fix this. It takes some effort, but it can be done. It's not that it's going to be forever like this, which is a nice feeling to have as a trainer.
And how many clients do you have?
Well, I think before I left, I had about 14 clients at City Sports, which is a sister company to LA Fitness, and I had about 8 to 10 clients on my own that I trained independently at another private gym. So I had a very good amount. I left most of them to 2 different trainers that I trusted in the Bay Area. Now I'm not training one-on-one. I run the training department, so I don't have any clients right now.
What do you prefer?
I prefer training. If training were able to make me the income that I need to save up for grad school and opening my own business, I would be training. Hands down, I love it, right? And I think when I trained my one-on-one clients, I was charging 50 to 60 an hour, which is fairly average for a trainer. But there's only so many hours in a day. Even if you train 8 clients a day, right? That's 8 hours. That's eight clients, and you don't get a break. You don't get your lunch, and you're still making less than $100,000 a year, working 40 hours a week. So it's just not sustainable energy-wise. It's not efficient. There's ways around it, like you could hold group classes, stuff like that. But I think my training style of one-on-one, it wasn't sustainable for my goals.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God, for sure. I grew up Catholic. I did pretty much all my my rituals, my sacraments that are part of Catholic religion. Like I did my first communion, my confirmation, I was baptized, I have godparents. All I really have left are two, right, which is marriage and the blessing before I pass away. But I think I've had a little bit less attachment to the church in general. I believe in God, but I don't believe in all the rules and regulation of the church.
Why don't you believe in the church?
I think they're too controlling, I think that the rules that were set up hundreds and hundreds of years ago don't apply to the society that we live in now. The idea behind getting married and it can only be man and woman and their sole job is to create a kid. Sure, that was very important before because we needed people. Like we needed people to grow food, right? We needed people to grow the economy. And now we're at a point where it's not necessary. If you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. We'll be fine. So I think that really interferes with my values of like being pro-choice and being open to like LGBTQ communities. Like I don't think religion has a say anymore when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And do you see, does it conflict having a relationship with God and a relationship with the church?
I think so. I think that the church was developed to guide people on how to praise God and how to pray and how to believe in God. But it shouldn't affect your relationship with God. It's just one structured way of relating to God.
So how do you maintain your relationship with God?
You can pray on your own, right? So in Catholic, there's prayers, there's set prayers that you can do. But I think just being able to, think. Like, for example, for me, I have a rosary in my car on my rear view mirror. And every time before I go somewhere far, before I go on a long drive, I look at that and I remind myself that I have someone to protect me. So that helps a lot.
And you consider your faith strong?
I don't think it's, I think, see, that's the thing, people associate your faith strong with how much of your religion's virtues you follow, right? So by that sense, my faith is not strong because I don't go to church every Sunday and I don't follow their prayers that I'm supposed to. And, I'll go to church on like Christmas and Easter, but I think that if you define it by that sense, then no. But I think personally, if I were to look inside myself, it is, right? Yeah.
Do you think you're a good person?
Yeah, I'm a good person. I don't think that I've ever done something purposely knowing that it's going to hurt or negatively affect someone else.
Do you know bad people?
Everybody knows bad people, But I think that the worst kind of people are greedy people. That's the worst. People who take and take and take, don't give.
A lot of those nowadays, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially working sales, working corporate. It's disgusting.
It's always at the top, too.
Yeah, and, eventually when I run my own business, I hope to spread the wealth, lessen a pyramid style more evenly. That's the goal. Yeah.
You're a communist?
No, I don't think I'm a communist, but some socialism would be nice. Centralized healthcare. There's people out there that they can't go to the hospital. They need insulin. They can't afford insulin. They get sick and they work because they can't afford to go to the doctor and they can't afford to take days off. So yeah, it's pretty messed up how we're in a first world country and we still have people who can't get medical attention that they need.
Do you think things will get better?
I think they're going to get a lot worse before they get better, in my opinion. I think it's going to hit a boiling point, like a breaking point, where it's so bad that a change has to happen immediately, right? I don't think that we're going to make it better and get there through the voting process. I don't think that it's going to get there through small changes in the legal system or in law. I don't think it'll get there that way. I think it's going to have to hit a breaking point where it either has to change or people are dying.
Revolution.
Yeah, well, not even revolution, like COVID. COVID was our chance to fix this, right? Like, people didn't know who to call. Like, they couldn't call off sick from work because they couldn't take time off, right? They couldn't go get COVID shots because we didn't have enough of it. They couldn't get tested because they didn't know who to call. There's like 3 million different numbers to call depending where you live. They all wanted different insurance information, and it was just a mess. And I think this was our chance, seeing this many people dying from one sickness, to realize that we need a better way to handle this stuff. And I think something like this would have been the chance that I was thinking of, not so much revolution, but maybe some kind of pandemic in a way. But it didn't work with this one, so I don't know what it's going to take.
What is it going to take?
I have no clue. I think eventually we're going to get into we're going to start seeing how heart disease, like cancer, all this kind of stuff can be prevented by preventative healthcare. So instead of waiting until you have a heart attack to go get surgery, it's going to be this process of going every couple of months, getting a checkup, checking in with your health, getting on medications if you need to, getting prescribed workout plans and fitness plans, and being able to be preventative is going to be the key to changing the healthcare system, in my opinion. Because right now, fixing things after they're broken or after they happen is way too expensive to keep it up.
Why do you think the healthcare system is the way it is?
Oh, I think it's greed. It's definitely greed. Right? I don't know why we allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise, first of all. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know why people have to pay out of pocket to go and see and get a checkup. It makes no sense to me. If you feel that like our health is important as a society to progress, which it is, because you got to be healthy to work hard, right? So I think that you shouldn't have to pay to go and get a checkup. Like, check in on your blood pressure, your cholesterol, ask them questions about your diet, about fitness. And I think that, it has a bad image, like socialized healthcare, but in reality, the people that would benefit the most are the most uneducated on why it would benefit them the most. They just hear the trigger word, right, and they hate it.
Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that, the majority of people, and I don't want to target states or areas, right, but I feel like the majority of people who are living in poverty, who don't have access to healthcare, they don't have health insurance, or they don't have daily regular checkups with their doctor, I think that those people would benefit the most from having centralized healthcare paid for with our taxes or very small monthly fees. And they're the people that also think that socialized healthcare, because of the word socialism, is anti-American, it's anti-whatever, we're supposed to believe in, right? So they think that it's such a negative thing, when in reality, it's meant to help them, right? For example, my parents as immigrants, they didn't have a lot of money, right? And I can imagine how having a nice standardized healthcare system would have benefited them so much. I think that the only reason that I went to the doctors regularly as a kid was because, healthcare is free for kids and who were born here or are citizens, right? But it's a lot harder as an adult, especially if you're working really hard just to pay the bills and food. And I think those kind of people who need it the most are the most against it.